Almost 20 years ago, maybe more like 16, not really sure, I made this. I don't remember why. I don't remember what it was for. And I don't remember exactly what I did with it either. This was supposed to be repurposed into something. Like I had a use for it, or I'm not really sure. Basically what we have here is a power strip that I think was from the dollar store, and a project box with an amber LED. It looks like I used like drywall screws. I was over at my dad's recently and saw this sitting on one of the shelves in the basement, and I said, "This is still here? I thought I had this at my house." So I don't even remember what I made it for. Over here is a wire, a decent length, just 2 conductor, with a barrel plug. And if I recall, this was a 12-volt remote power-on power strip. The idea is you would plug this end in. Doesn't matter if this switch is on or off. Obviously, if it's off, nothing is going to happen. But if it's on, then we're going to get power to here, but only when 12 volts is applied to this. Now, why would I put a barrel plug on this instead of a jack? And I think this had something to do with the doorbell server that was not a doorbell server yet, or I was planning it, or I'm not really sure what the purpose was. Now, what you might use this for, I don't even know what I would use it for. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. This will fit, as far as I remember, the jack that I installed on the back of the doorbell server. So this would certainly power it. And I know I had this in service for a short period of time testing. I had the machine set up on my dad's washing machine and a monitor CRT, because that's all I had at the time, hooked up to that. And it was, when the system was powered on, this would get power, so this would get power, and that's all I remember. You could plug, theoretically, if you have a monitor, like an older CRT that has a hard on-off power switch, you could leave it on, and that way when you power the system up, the monitor would turn on. I didn't make it for that. I don't know what I made it for. So we're going to take a look and see how my build quality was almost 20 years ago. For strain relief, I just put big cable ties on this, on the outside, here and here. It was, I didn't have hot glue at the time, really, so that's really all I remember. So let's open this up. Now, like I said, these don't appear to be the right screws. They seem to be like drywall screws. Maybe like shorties. I don't know. I don't think this box... Yeah, this box would not have come with them. So I don't know if I used the screws for something else, or they had been misplaced, never to be found again, or what the deal was. I really, honestly, do not remember at all. The project box might have been from Radio Shack, but it would have come with screws. Maybe it was a spare one I had. The cable I had laying around, the power strip was from the dollar store, like I said. The amber LED was from Parts Express, if I recall. And there should be a 12-volt relay in here that I had a bunch of, standard Bosch type relay from Parts Express as well. Okay, so, yes. Oh, well, I guess I did have hot glue. Okay. A little tight. I don't know how much you're going to see, and some of the hot glue has failed. This looks like low-temperature hot glue, and it may have been that little tiny jobber that I had back in the day. This is a 12-volt, 30-amp power relay. Yes, I remember now. Okay, this was an oddball as far as the stuff I had. This relay, I'll see if I could hold it so you could see it, was from Radio Shack. And this relay was going to be used in, I think, the Whiff's old Dodge Lancer back in the day. It's a long story. I'll tell that in an old war story one day, but we needed a relay because I needed to wire the cooling fan for the radiator up on with the key, because the circuit for that was not working, and we later found out why when the car was scrapped and junked. But I think this was that relay because this was the only purpose I had for it. So it only has 4 conductors. So what I had done here is I used like spade terminals, and that hot glue has definitely failed, and I'm not thrilled with that. And I will probably fix that before I close this up, because why not? The cable ties I put on the inside also over here. And that's it. That's exactly what this device is. Everything here is just kind of twisted and taped and made a good enough connection. This is a 12-volt LED. I bought them that way specifically so they could be used in a car, but I had extras laying around. So let's test this out for the first time in almost 20 years, 16 years, one of those, and see if it still works. I'm sure it does, you know. And as far as my wiring in that, well, a little hard to see, and it's very tight quarters in there, but those connections are good and goddamn solid. I did not provide for a sort of strain relief on this wire because I think it was so tight, and I figured with the hot glue on the relay, it would just hold it in place, and that's really the whole deal. So let me, I think what I want to do first is clean this up, re-hot glue it, and then I will go ahead and test it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is hopefully peel away the hot glue, and I think I'm going to need a screwdriver for that. Yeah, I'm going to need a flat blade for that. And here also, this one is coming. Yeah. This is why, Jordan, you don't use low temperature hot glue for things that need high temperature hot glue. Did it hold? Sorta. Could it have been better with high temp hot glue? Without a doubt. Alright, that's out. I need a screwdriver to pry this hot glue off because it's not... Well, wait a minute. There. See how it just peels? Don't use low temp for things that need high temp. And something like this needs high temp because it is, not that it gets hot, but it has a much stronger adhesion than low temp. And here's all the wasted hot glue that could have been used for other purposes. Can it be remelted down and reused? Yeah, I'm going to throw it out. But yeah, let me get some hot glue and we'll glue this up. The AdTech hot glue gun, my go-to gun. So I don't know what you can see. The relay is kind of cocked. So we'll squirt it, and glue it back kind of how I had it, and then maybe add a little bit more. We'll just put like a big glob there, a little more there. And then we will take it and mush it. And why is it not moving? There it is. Now it's moving. There. So now I have that in place. And I need to just kind of wait here for a little bit while that dries. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's going to take longer for it to dry than it would if it were low temp. But then again, if the repair is going to work, the time that's needed for it to dry or cool off is going to be well worth it. And in fact, we're there, just about. Yeah, it's still kind of liquidy, so I'm going to hold it. I'm going to shoot some more glue. In fact, I'll do that right now. Complete with smoke. Perfect. Smoking hot. Excellent. Still kind of blazing hot, but it's set enough that it's there. It's not moving now. Definitely will stay. And for the strain relief, I'm going to re-hot glue that. So this is kind of like the last repair, but now that I'm a lot more established in that, and I'm probably never going to use this anyway, and the connections are a lot more solid than a certain fan torp that we know when you put ceiling fans up. So at least I know the wiring is safe, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm just kind of doing this for a little cleanup. But just to show that even 16 years ago, when I was a lot more of a greenhorn than I am now, I was still doing quality work. Yeah, just was. So we're going to put some more hot glue here to kind of hold the cable tie in place and hold the wire in place. And I think I want to kind of just mush it off to the side like that. Yeah, that's how I want it. A little drop more. And the same on this side. We'll just glue in that in place. There, that's all the hot glue that we need. That's more than plenty. With the smoke, there's no way you could see that, but yeah, that's why you use high temp. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is put this back together. It's just a matter of putting the top on, putting 4 screws in, and we'll test it out. Just put it back together, and I said, you know what? I should really put a little bit of hot glue on that wire in there just before I shut everything down, just to hold it in place. I need my thing out of the way. Just a little schmeg on that. There we go. That'll do just perfectly fine. Excellent. Okay. So now for the reassembly. Just kind of tuck that down in there. That's fine. A little string of hot glue. There it is. More hot glue. Good. Put the screws back. This is kind of a tough shot, tough angle. And I'm going to go for broke and just hit this with power. It's probably center positive. I think if I hook it up backwards, the relay will still pick, but the LED won't light up. So here's 12 volts. Stick one end on there. I guess I'll kind of have to hold it and touch that to the center. Yep, there he goes. So you see the LED over there. I'll zoom in on that, I guess. Too bad with the light on it. So that works. And just for shits, if I wire it backwards, oh, the LED blinks when I take power off. And another thing that happens is down on the power strip here, and I don't have a way to really, well, I think you could just barely see that. You'll see the light in the switch on the power supply, on the power strip, at the same time as the amber LED. And then if I take, yikes, there we go. That's a little hot. If I take that and plug it up here, It's in enough. Power. And now it switches 120 volts safely. And will handle switching 30 amps, but we're limited by the power strip itself. And as far as that is concerned, jeez, I don't even know. Let me get this out of the way. Let's see. It says 15 amps, 125 volts, KT-P04UL, UL E210984, 125 volt, 15 amps, 60 hertz, 0203. So that probably is a date code. That would kind of make sense. 0203, February 03. And it says, caution, to reduce the risk of electric shock, use only indoors. And there is indeed a UL sticker on it. So that is the 12 volt remote power strip. 12 volt remote power strip. When you hit it with 12 volts, it turns on the power strip. And I have no idea what to use it for. I made it years ago. Now it's here to stay, and it's been refurbished, and that wire is stuck in there good. These wires are stuck in good. So it's better than it started. You always improve in time. Unless, of course, you don't try. So now, for the rest of my life, I'm always going to try. In fact, I always have, but I'm going to try even harder with everything. Never do a half-assed job. This was not half-assed in any way. In fact, it was well built even then, and it still is well built today. When you do quality work, it holds up. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and if you can come up with any ideas that you think this could be useful for, put them down in the comments. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.